scared. Everybody wanted to make the money. And if they could fight a 60-year-old lady to get to the world championship and continue fighting a senior citizen and get $1 million, they would fight for the rest of their career. There's big fights that need to be made. We need to make Tank versus
those 90
Shakur.
fighters are nothing like the 80 fighters.
Terrence Crawford.
So
we need Boots to fight Terrence Crawford.
Boots and 4 dudes that he didn't stop, and you think he gonna stop what they say the pound for pound best fighter in the world?
My brother, everybody can be stopped.
I know it, but I'm saying
yes, I do. He's 37 years old.
We just going by what's happening.
He's 37 years old. He's 37 years old, right?
He ain't look like it though. He ain't look like it.
He's never been in there with anybody like Boots. So the only way we can prove who's right and who's wrong is make the fight. They both have belts. They can go to Dubai and get 25 million or 30 million each. So make the fight. They're both world champions. Unify the belts.
Yeah, he just was unified. He got the belt because Bud gave it up.
That ain't his fault. So he shows Bud don't want to fight him. So fight him. Well, I'm not giving up my belt. I'm going to defend my belt.
He gave up his belt because he thought he was going to 154, champ.
No. Can I say something? And I hate to say it. Boxing have gotten so pussified that everybody want to make maximum money with the least resistance, right? Duran Ennis wants to fight Bud Crawford, right? And then when Duran makes it up and become a 3-division world champion, you know what everybody's going to say? He ran from Bud Crawford when he was at welterweight, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He wants to fight Bud Crawford just like Bud Crawford wanted to fight everybody. And Bud is the best. And as a young champion, I would want to fight the best. Ray Leonard didn't run from Tommy Hearns or vice versa. But everybody nowadays want to make money and don't fight anybody. And based on who they have doing their publicity, they put all this stuff on social media. If you don't want to fight somebody, say I'm scared and give up your belt.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, right? And I want you to think about this, right? This is the most time that we had more black managers, more black champions, more black promoters and everything. So now we turning it inside, man. Back then, when we wasn't or didn't have a lot of control like we have, they wasn't talking about them white boys like that. Was it?
We're people talking about it. Can I say this? In boxing, they've always pushed for the contenders to fight the champions. And if you're a champion, I'm going back to the 70s.
They wasn't letting them fight them black fighters where them black fighters would get the belts.
We understood that. But
that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying blacks are having their chance to make some money and be in charge. And it's a problem now. But it's been going on forever.
They're going to make money regardless, but we're so sick and tired of fighters nowadays. The fights that we want to see is not happening. It's not like they're not going to get paid. They're going to get paid. Dosen'T and Crawford.
Well, you got to talk to the management. You got to talk to the management about that. You can't keep down on the guys.
Hey, I just came in and heard something, right? What Marvin was just saying. I was talking to somebody else about this a few days ago. Back in the 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, black people didn't get the equal opportunity at nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
So when you hear about, I don't mean to sound racist, but when you hear about a white fighter back then being great, that's because they ducked certain black fighters that didn't allow certain black fighters to get an equal opportunity.
Yeah, you're on the same page.
If that black fighter would have got in that ring,
he would be champ.
Great as they are today, would Rocky Marciano be great? Or any other of those fighters, would they be great if we had an equal opportunity back then?
We're not disagreeing with you.
I'm saying let these black fighters make all the money they can make and then make more money.
All I'm saying is all these fights we're talking about, Tank versus Haney or Tank versus Shakur, Boots versus Crawford, they're going to make a lot of money. They're not going to do it for free. They're going to make a lot of money. So it's not that these fights are going to make them poor. It's just that in this day and age, nobody wants to fight anybody. And their managers and trainers, they're so scared, we don't want to fight. Shakur and Tank, they will make a lot of money. They can take that fight to Dubai, wherever, they're going to make a lot of money. Boots versus Crawford, they're going to make a lot of money. So if money's not the issue, what is? Everybody want to be secure and fight second-rate contenders and be a champion? We understood what happened back then. Rocky
Yeah,
Marciano didn't
yeah,
want to fight
yeah.
Patterson and a bunch of
So
other
why
fighters.
can't we do the same thing? Why can't we do the same thing?
Because I'm a fan of boxing and I want to see the best fight. Even back then, my father and grandfather wanted to see the best fight, and they didn't
see it because the blacks would have took it over.
Right, but
And
I'm
they
saying,
didn't see it.
can I say this? Just because something happened before, we understand that. But I'm saying we're in the business of prize fighting. We want to see champions fight each other, and the money is there for them. So if they don't want to fight each other, say, I don't want to fight anybody. I want to take the path of least resistance, but I don't want to hear why Tank can't fight Shakur or why Crawford can't fight Boots. And we keep playing this game and all
It's
around.
not a game, though. Look, if you bringing 20,000 people everywhere you go to the venue, and I'm only bringing 4,000 everywhere I go, but I'm asking for 50% of your purse, do I deserve it?
You can't dance without me.
I can't.
What I'm saying, no, listen. You
Try
bring
fighting by yourself.
You bringing 20,000 people.
My brother, you need a dance partner.
I'm only bringing 4,000 to your 20,000, but I want 50%.
Can I say something? Try fighting by yourself and make that 20 million. Go in shadow box.
Wait a minute.
Go in shadow box.
Let me say something.
Hey, Kenny, let me get this one, Kenny. Let me get this one, Kenny.
Hold up. I can go outside and get a cab driver and put him in the ring with Tank, and guess what? 20,000 people gonna show up.
Try it and see how many people. Try that with a cab driver and see how many people gonna show up.
20,000 people gonna show up.
No, let Tank fight a cab driver. Let's see how much money he's gonna make.
20,000 people gonna show up.
I'm glad you try that business model. We see how long that's gonna work.
Well, let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
I love this panel. I just want to start off by saying I look forward to Sundays. I always get caught up with my grandson, so I get in late. But I love this panel. Let me ask this question. I'm doing great, good brothers, all of y'all. Piggybacking on a little bit of what Coach Kenny said, but maybe from a different angle. If I could make $40 million or fighting almost anybody, and the best fight may be against another fighter, but that fighter hasn't proven that he can sustainably make even $3 million. Would it be fair if I made him an offer of saying, I'm going to pay you the most amount of money you've ever made, even if that's only $5 million? I'll just use the example everybody likes to use. I'll use the flip way. If Tank told Devin Haney, hey, show me your biggest purse, and if your biggest purse, which we know is probably somewhere around 4.5, 5 million, I'm actually gonna double your biggest purse. But that's all. I'm gonna double your biggest purse. But I'm gonna make whatever I make because I can promote this fight, if you want to call it that. Then would Devin Haney be wrong for turning that fight down, or would he be right for taking that fight?
My brother, it comes down to negotiations, right? They both need each other.
But let me ask you this. Wouldn't you say in order to negotiate, the only way you can negotiate, the only way anybody negotiate, whether it's war and peace, whether it's whatever it may be, is when we both come in at an equal point? Because if I have the upper hand, I don't have to negotiate with you. If you have the upper hand, you don't have to negotiate with me. It's like if my country has nuclear weapons and your country only has handguns, you don't want us to blow you up. So I don't have to negotiate with you.
There's too many words at one time.
Demands.
There's too many type of words just now, Jack, that can trigger us, man.
Can I say this?
I don't know about. I'm sorry. If there was that type of situation where I don't have to negotiate with you, the only thing you can do is meet my terms, then we can't negotiate. If you're looking at it from Tank, and I'll use the last fight, Ryan Garcia say he made $30 million. From what I've heard, he had to make 36 because a Golden Boy got there 6 million and he got 30. So if he got that from fighting Tank and never got that from fighting anybody else, but Tank has gotten 15, $20 million paydays fighting other people. That tells me that Tank is the A of this. So if he's the A, you can't send me something offering me less than what I already make. To the general public, it sounded great. He offered him 20 million and he didn't take it. But if I already make 40 million or 30 million, you offer me 20 doesn't do anything for me. It only does something for you because you've never seen that type of money. So
And it's
you're
nothing
almost
personal, it's business.
yeah. And so if that's the case, and he's saying we're not going to do it, for Tank, it doesn't change anything about his paycheck. His paycheck stays the same. Like I've said before, he showed he could fight Jeffrey the Giraffe and still get $10 million, $20 million. Devin Haney has not been able to show that because even fighting the biggest names, he hasn't drawn any money. Lomachenko is a big name. When Kambosos had to fight, they did it in Australia because that was the biggest place to get the max dollar. And if you still don't make that type of draw, Tank has been to 6 different places that I know of, and 6 different times he's done the same thing, sold out the building in different cities. So if he's saying I've done it in different cities, you actually had a blackout. If I'm not mistaken, New York, Devin had a blackout. They put the aprons up, told people to move down. And this last fight, if I'm not mistaken, again, in the 8th hour, they reduced the ticket prices so that they can encourage people to buy tickets. So if you're doing all of that, then yes, it's called prize fighting, but we got to remember prize fighting and entertainment, 2 different things. But when you say prize fighting, the prize got to be worth it for me.